Imagine waking up the day after winning tens of millions of dollars. For most, it's a dream come true. But for nearly 70% of lottery winners in the US, that dream quickly turns into a nightmare. Within just a few years, they lose everything. Fortunes vanish, families fall apart, and some even face tragic consequences. Why do so many winners lose their money? And what dark forces lie behind the glittering jackpot? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth. Winning the lottery changes lives in an instant. For many Americans, the chance to become an overnight millionaire represents hope, freedom, and the possibility of a completely new future. It offers the promise of escaping financial struggles and stepping into a world of luxury and opportunity that once seemed unattainable. Sudden wealth brings challenges few fully understand. Managing millions of dollars, unexpected social pressures, and the emotional impact of such a drastic life change are obstacles that winners face immediately after their big win. How they navigate this new reality often determines their future more than the money itself. The real experiences of lottery winners show the ways their lives transform, the decisions they make, and the effects on their families and communities. The lottery also has a broader social and cultural impact across the United States, revealing complexities behind what might seem like a simple game of chance. The dream of winning the lottery seems like a golden ticket to endless riches and happiness, but reality paints a very different picture, one filled with loss, hardship, and sometimes devastating consequences. This phenomenon even has a name: the lottery curse. How true is it? The numbers speak for themselves. Studies show that about 70% of lottery winners end up broke within just a few years. For many, the sudden influx of millions is less a blessing and more a curse. A report by the American Bankruptcy Institute found that lottery winners are actually more likely to file for bankruptcy than the general population. These staggering statistics raise the question: what exactly happens in those years after the win? A key culprit is sudden wealth syndrome. It's a psychological condition that affects many who experience an unexpected financial windfall. Winners often feel overwhelmed, anxious, and isolated. They struggle to adjust to new lifestyles they never anticipated and lack the financial education to manage a fortune wisely. This syndrome can cloud judgment, leading to impulsive spending, risky investments, and poor decision-making. Jack Whittaker's story is perhaps the most infamous example. In 2002, Whittaker, construction executive from West Virginia, won a $314 million Powerball jackpot, the largest jackpot at the time. What followed was a heartbreaking unraveling. Whittaker faced numerous challenges: thefts of his cash, family tragedies, including the deaths of his granddaughter and daughter from drug overdoses, and lawsuits piling up around him. Despite his enormous wealth, Whittaker revealed later, "I wish I'd torn up that ticket." His fortune didn't bring peace or happiness. It brought stress and loss. He became a symbol of the lottery curse, warning others about the hidden dangers. Another tragic tale involves William Bud Post, who won $16.2 million in 1988. Post's life quickly descended into chaos. Within months, he was dealing with lawsuits from relatives, legal troubles, and numerous personal problems. By the time of his death in 2006, he was broke and estranged from his family. Marie Holmes, a more recent winner of $188 million in 2015, showed how sudden wealth can amplify existing vulnerabilities. Holmes made headlines for bailing her boyfriend out of jail multiple times and facing complex legal battles over her money. Her story reveals how sudden riches attract not only opportunity but also turmoil and exploitation. These stories are not just sensational headlines, they reveal systemic challenges lottery winners face. The sudden exposure to massive wealth creates pressures from family and friends who may expect handouts. It entangles winners in legal disputes or targets them for scams. The lifestyle inflation that often follows, lavish purchases, luxury vehicles, extravagant parties, can rapidly drain funds. Financial literacy, or rather the lack of it, is another major factor. Most lottery winners, averaging ordinary jobs before their wins, do not have background in investment or budgeting. Without proper guidance, many make poor financial choices that accelerate the loss of their fortunes. But it's not just money management. The social and emotional toll is immense. Winners often become isolated, losing old friendships and becoming overwhelmed by new, often toxic relationships. Mental health struggles, including depression and anxiety, frequently follow. This conflict between dreams and reality raises a difficult truth. Hitting the jackpot doesn't guarantee happiness or security. Behind every jackpot win is a fragile human story, where success is not just about numbers, but also about psychology, social environment, and choices. Why then do so many lottery winners spiral into ruin? Is there a way to break this cycle? These questions lead us deeper into this world of wealth and misfortune. In the next chapters, we will explore contrasting stories, those who fell and those who rose above the lottery curse. We'll see how culture and community views shape this phenomenon, especially in conservative regions where the lottery is viewed with suspicion or outright rejection. For now, reflect on this. The lottery is a game not just of chance, but of human nature and vulnerability. Can pure luck survive the test of real life? The stories of lottery winners often capture the imagination. Instant wealth, extravagant lifestyles, the ultimate escape from struggle. But many of these tales come with a tragic twist. Behind the glamour lie harsh realities that few expect. Consider again the infamous Jack Whittaker. Despite his initial fortune and good intentions, he pledged large donations to charity. His life quickly unraveled. Whittaker's story is riddled with thefts, where people broke into his properties and stole bags of cash. More heartbreakingly, his family suffered devastating losses. His granddaughter died from a drug overdose at just 19, and his daughter also passed away young under tragic circumstances. Whittaker's nephew was involved in a fatal car accident. Beyond money, Whittaker faced constant legal battles, harassment, and stress that no amount of wealth could ease. His story paints a grim picture of how sudden wealth can bring unforeseen dangers, especially when privacy and security are compromised. The lottery win didn't bring the dream life Whittaker envisioned. It became an exhausting fight for survival. Then there's William Bud Post, a man who won $16.2 million in 1988, but is remembered more for how his life spiraled out of control than for the riches he claimed. Post was swarmed by relatives and acquaintances demanding money, and he faced multiple lawsuits. Soon after his win, he was arrested for reckless driving. His romantic relationships collapsed, and his family life fractured. By the time of his death, Bud Post was penniless and estranged from those he once loved. Marie Holmes' story, more recent but equally cautionary, highlights how sudden riches can amplify existing vulnerabilities and lead to chaotic consequences. Winning $188 million in 2015, Holmes faced turbulent personal and legal challenges. Headlines focused on how she frequently bailed out her boyfriend from jail, brought complex lawsuits regarding her funds, and endured public scrutiny. Despite the enormous prize, her life was far from calm or secure. The stories don't end there. Others reveal a pattern of lifestyle inflation gone wrong, impulsive purchases of luxury cars, yachts, and houses that generate more debt than happiness. Risky investments and attempts to turn money into more money often result in substantial losses, wiping out fortunes rapidly. Behind every jackpot story is a stark reality. Many lottery winners are unprepared for the sudden influx of attention, pressure, and responsibility. The social dynamics shift dramatically. Some friends and family see winners as ATM machines. Relationships strain and isolation sets in. More than finances, the emotional and psychological toll is profound. Professionals estimate that many winners suffer from mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. The staggering responsibility of managing such wealth alone can crush the spirit. But not all stories end in ruin. Some winners find balance and purpose. There are winners who embraced financial education, hired trustworthy advisors, and kept their lifestyle in check. These stories contrast sharply with tales of loss, providing lessons on resilience and control. The critical question emerges: what separates those who survive the lottery curse from those who fall victim to it? Is it luck or something far more complex? A combination of mindset, education, support systems, and personal choices. In this chapter, we peel back the layers of the tragic stories, unveiling how the journey from sudden wealth to downfall unfolds. We ask the tough questions about human nature, trust, and the cost of riches. With each shocking story comes a warning and a lesson. Winning the lottery isn't just about chance. It's about navigating a perilous new world that few are prepared for. As we move forward, we'll dive into the cultural and moral perspectives surrounding the lottery, exploring how communities perceive and respond to this strange phenomenon of instant riches. But before that, consider this. What would happen if you suddenly came into millions? Would you be ready? Or would the curse claim another victim? The lottery is not just a game of chance. It's a mirror reflecting the complex social and moral fabric of America. Its presence and acceptance vary dramatically across regions, cultures, and communities, revealing deep divides about money, hope, and values. Take Alabama, for example. It remains one of the few states without a state lottery. Here, the lottery is met with strong opposition, rooted in conservative and religious beliefs. Many Alabamians view the lottery as a moral hazard, a form of gambling that promotes idolatry and preys on the vulnerable. Religious leaders and activists actively campaign against it, arguing that the lottery destroys families and perpetuates false hope, especially in low-income communities where people often turn to the lottery as a desperate means to escape poverty. This opposition is not unique to Alabama. Across the United States, the lottery often sparks debates about ethics and government responsibility. Is it right for public institutions to profit from a game that targets those least equipped to afford the risk? Critics argue that lotteries disproportionately draw money from economically disadvantaged populations, creating a regressive tax that widens inequality rather than narrowing it. Research supports this concern. Studies indicate that lower-income households spend a higher percentage of their earnings on lottery tickets, often sacrificing necessities in the hope of winning big. This paradox highlights the double-edged nature of the lottery. It offers dreams, but can deepen financial strain. Despite this tension, the lottery's cultural appeal remains powerful. It captivates millions who see it as a ticket to freedom and transformation, regardless of the state they live in. The promise of instant wealth, even against astronomical odds, fuels a collective belief that anyone can change their destiny with a lucky ticket. This belief manifests in social rituals, media narratives, and personal stories. In towns and cities nationwide, conversations around lottery wins are common. Communities gather around lottery news, sharing hopes and heartbreaks, often blending faith, superstition, and statistics in a unique cultural tapestry. However, social acceptance varies widely. In more liberal or metropolitan areas, the lottery is often viewed as harmless entertainment, a fun gamble that offers excitement without significant moral concerns. Players perceive it as a recreational activity, an occasional wager with negligible risk. Contrast this with many rural or conservative regions where skepticism and criticism run deep. Here, the lottery is often linked with social decay, gambling addiction, broken families, and economic hardship. This division reflects broader cultural values around work, luck, risk, and morality. The debate extends beyond personal choices into public policy. Should states expand or restrict lotteries? How should revenues be used? Some argue lottery money funds, important social programs such as education and infrastructure, providing tangible benefits. Yet others question if these benefits justify the social costs. Is redirecting funds from vulnerable populations a fair exchange for public goods? The moral complexity challenges lawmakers, communities, and individuals alike. The psychological impact also merits attention. For many players, the lottery represents hope, a light in economic uncertainty. But for some, this hope can morph into addiction, distorting priorities and draining resources. Problem gambling linked to lottery play exacerbates social inequalities and emotional hardships, reinforcing cycles of despair. Social stigma plays a role too. Lottery winners may encounter envy, suspicion, or alienation. Within families or communities, relationships can strain under the weight of newfound wealth or failed dreams. Winners often navigate a delicate balance between celebration and secrecy. In some cases, this tension pushes winners into isolation, fearing exploitation or judgment. The social dynamics surrounding lottery play and winnings can significantly affect mental health and personal well-being. Understanding these social and moral landscapes is critical to grasping the full impact of the lottery in America. It is not merely a financial event, it is a cultural force shaping identities, communities, and policies. As we move forward in this story, we'll explore how this cultural obsession feeds into the mechanics of the lottery, how jackpots grow, how dreams are marketed, and what drives millions to risk so much on so little chance. But remember this, the lottery isn't just about winning. It's about the hopes and struggles of millions who see it as their chance for a better life, at a cost far more complex than a simple ticket price. Powerball, Mega Millions, and similar lottery games have become a defining feature of American culture. The massive jackpots, often soaring into the hundreds of millions and sometimes billions, capture the imagination of millions across the country. But behind the flashy headlines and celebratory winners lies a complex system designed to keep people playing, hoping, and dreaming. The mechanics of these lotteries are surprisingly simple, yet powerful. Tickets are sold nationwide, with a fixed chance of winning that remains astronomically low. For example, the odds of hitting the Powerball jackpot are about 1 in 292 million, a number that dwarfs even the chances of being struck by lightning. Despite this, nearly half of American adults participate in lottery games, driven by the dream of instant wealth. The media plays a huge role in fueling this obsession. Coverage of record-breaking jackpots spreads like wildfire, turning ordinary players into overnight celebrities and sparking frenzies of ticket buying. Flashy advertisements highlight stories of winners living in mansions, driving luxury cars, and escaping financial hardship, creating an emotional pull that is hard to resist. Taxes add another layer of complexity. When a winner claims their prize, the government automatically withholds a significant portion. Federal taxes can take up to 37%, plus state taxes in many areas. This reduces the headline jackpot substantially. For a $100 million prize, the actual take-home payout might only be around $60 million after taxes. The structure of payouts also affects winners. Most opt for a lump sum, which is smaller than the advertised jackpot, but paid all at once. Others choose annuity payments, spreading the money over decades with compound interest, but locking them into long-term payouts. Each choice carries its own risks and benefits, often requiring expert advice to navigate. The cultural fascination with these lotteries is more than just about money. It's about hope, chance, and the belief that life can change overnight. Especially in economically uncertain times, the lottery offers a fantasy of escape and reinvention. No degrees or skills required, just luck. But this obsession comes at a cost. Studies have shown that lottery spending disproportionately comes from lower-income households, turning dreams into a form of regressive gambling. The hope sold to millions often masks harsh realities and can contribute to cycles of poverty. As jackpots grow, so does the frenzy. Long lines at convenience stores, last-minute ticket rushes, and social media buzz create a cultural event around every draw. The build-up, the excitement, the breakdown of winners and losers. It's a drama billions watch unfold. Understanding these mechanics and cultural forces helps explain why the lottery has such a powerful grip on American society. It's not just a game, it's a psychological and economic phenomenon influencing millions, shaping behaviors, and rewriting life stories. Next, we will look at the darker side, the pressures, pitfalls, and devastating consequences faced by those who win big but lose it all. What happens when the dream crumbles and the jackpot becomes a silent curse? Before that, ask yourself, when the stakes are this high, how prepared can anyone really be? Winning the lottery is often seen as the ultimate escape, an instant ticket to wealth, luxury, and a carefree life. But the reality faced by many winners is far more complicated and often tragic. Studies show that about 50% of lottery winners lose their fortunes within just 5 years. Behind the shiny exterior lies a world of financial ruin, emotional turmoil, and shattered relationships. What causes this dramatic fall from grace? One of the biggest challenges is dealing with the intense pressure coming from family, friends, and even strangers. Once the news spreads, winners quickly find themselves in the role of lender or benefactor, with requests for money pouring in. These demands can become overwhelming, straining even the strongest relationships. Many winners report feeling exploited and betrayed by those closest to them. Then there's lifestyle inflation, an almost inevitable trap. Suddenly flush with cash, winners might purchase luxury cars, sprawling mansions, designer wardrobes, and throw lavish parties. While it's natural to want to enjoy newfound wealth, without budgeting and financial discipline, this rapid overspending can lead to disastrous consequences. Even hundreds of millions can disappear quickly when there is no control over expenses. Financial ignorance makes things worse. Many lottery winners have little experience managing large sums. Without professional advice, they are susceptible to scams, bad investments, and unwise purchases. Taxes further complicate the picture. Federal taxes can take up to 37% of winnings, plus state taxes, leaving winners with far less than the advertised jackpots. Failing to plan for these deductions can cause serious cash flow problems. The psychological impact can be devastating. The sudden change in lifestyle, lack of privacy, and overwhelming responsibility often lead to anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Some winners find themselves isolated, suffering from what experts call sudden wealth syndrome. Consider the story of Terry, an 18-year-old winner of $4 million. With no financial education or guidance, Terry quickly blew through his fortune on risky investments and reckless spending. His life collapsed. He ended up living in a trailer, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and battling depression. He even attempted suicide. Yet, Terry's story isn't just one of tragedy. After reaching rock bottom, he managed to rebuild his life with the support of family and mental health treatment, showing that recovery is possible. Legal trouble is another common pitfall. Many winners find themselves fighting lawsuits from opportunistic relatives or acquaintances. The loss of anonymity adds stress as media attention exposes every aspect of their lives. This constant scrutiny can exacerbate mental health issues, making it harder for winners to maintain stability. The numbers are grim. Surveys indicate that family conflicts, addiction, and poor financial decision-making are among the leading causes of lottery fortunes disappearing. The weight of wealth can isolate winners from previous social networks, making it difficult to find trustworthy advisors or emotional support. Despite these harsh realities, mainstream media often ignores the dark side of sudden wealth, focusing instead on the glamour and excitement of massive jackpots. The public rarely hears about what happens after the initial celebrations fade. This chapter highlights the critical need for better financial and psychological support for lottery winners. Education and counseling are key to helping winners manage not only their money, but also the complex emotional landscape that comes with sudden affluence. When dreaming of winning big, remember, The jackpot is more than money. It's a responsibility that requires wisdom, self-control, and a strong support network. What separates those who fall victim to the lottery curse from those who thrive? The answer lies in preparation, mindset, and a willingness to seek help. Coming up, we'll explore stories of winners who beat the odds, those who found balance, purpose, and used their fortune to build lasting legacies. But first ask yourself, if millions suddenly landed in your hands, could you survive the storm that often follows the light? Amid the stories of downfall and loss, there are also inspiring tales of lottery winners who broke the curse. These individuals show that sudden wealth doesn't have to lead to chaos. It can be a tool for growth, purpose, and lasting impact. Take the case of Richard and Mary Morrison, a working-class couple who won $165 million before their win. Richard worked as a social worker, and Mary was a nurse. Their life changed overnight, but they approached their fortune with clear-headed discipline rather than succumbing to impulse or pressure. The Morrisons adopted a philosophy of controlled enjoyment. They set budgets, $25,000 monthly for personal spending, and hired a team of legal and financial experts to manage their estate. Their new mansion, valued at over $4 million, represents not just luxury, but a symbol of careful planning. The Morrisons exemplify how wealth can be enjoyed responsibly. Their largest goal? To build a legacy beyond money for their family, their community, and for causes close to their hearts. Philanthropy became a cornerstone of their journey. The couple donated part of their fortune to local charities and social projects, including a center for equine therapy, helping children with autism. Their commitment to giving back grounded their wealth in meaning and connection. But the Morrisons are exceptions rather than the rule. Many winners struggle to find a balance between enjoying their windfall and securing it for future generations. The key difference lies in education, planning, and values. Another example is Dennis, a $30 million winner who maintained a simple lifestyle. Dennis, a former biker rebel, avoided flashy spending and instead invested wisely in classic cars and modest luxuries. For him, freedom and control were more valuable than outward displays of wealth. These stories reveal a crucial truth. How winners handle their money often defines their ultimate fate more than the amount they win. Financial advisors commonly recommend that lottery winners seek professional counsel immediately, not only on money management, but also on emotional resilience. Those who build strong support systems generally fare better in the long run. This chapter challenges the myth that winning automatically leads to ruin. It shows the power of responsible wealth, how money can transform lives positively when guided by wisdom and purpose. But this road is not without difficulty. The tension between enjoying newfound freedom and resisting social pressures is constant. Winners must navigate complex emotional landscapes, learning to say no to demands and to guard their privacy fiercely. That said, the legacy aspect is powerful. Many winners express a desire not just to live well, but to leave something meaningful behind, a foundation, philanthropic projects, or family stability that outlasts their own lifetime. The Morrison couple's story serves as a beacon. They used wealth not just to uplift themselves, but to uplift others. Their example demonstrates that fortune can be a force for good when handled with care and intention. As we reflect, think about this. What does real wealth mean beyond dollars? Is it in power or peace, in splendor or service? The choice lies with those who hold fortune's fragile keys. Our final segment will return to the core question. Does winning the lottery bring freedom, or does it create new chains? We'll weigh the stories, the data, and the human experience for a compelling conclusion. As we've explored in this journey, the lottery win is not just a story of luck. It's a profound test of character, resilience, and wisdom. From the dazzling heights of unimaginable wealth to the crushing lows of loss and regret, sudden riches bring complexity few ever imagined. Looking back at the stories of the Morrisons, Dennis, Jack Whitaker, Marie Holmes, and others, one question stands at the center. Does winning the lottery truly give freedom? Or does it instead bind winners in a new kind of captivity to money, expectations, and unforeseen challenges? The answer is complicated. For some, wealth unlocked doors, new opportunities, comfort, and the ability to give back. For others, it became a prison of debt, addiction, and broken relationships. The biggest difference: preparation, mindset, and support systems. Winning millions isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning of a new, often difficult chapter. How a person manages this sudden gift can define not only their financial future, but their mental and emotional well-being. The lottery shines a spotlight on our deepest hopes and vulnerabilities, revealing how powerfully money can shape lives and how crucial it is to approach such fortune with caution and clarity. So is the lottery a blessing or a curse? The truth lies somewhere in between. It is a mirror reflecting both the best and worst of human nature. Before we end, take a moment to consider this. If you held millions in your hands, would you know how to keep it, grow it, and use it wisely? Or would the pressure unravel you as it has for so many? The stories we shared today are lessons, warnings, and inspirations. But there is still more to uncover, more secrets, more insights waiting just beyond the surface. If you thought you had seen it all, think again. What happens when the spotlight fades, when the glitter is gone, and the real life begins? What if the true cost of winning the lottery isn't measured in dollars? What hidden dangers and secrets do the richest winners never talk about? The next story will expose the darkest truths behind the fortune, things that could change everything you thought you knew. Are you ready to uncover what happens when the money runs out? Don't look away.